people things, people character, people skill, and people knowledge that can contribute the nation progress and prosperity. However, education in Indonesia has a long journey and is not easy. Since the colonial era until this era, Indonesia has experienced various challenges, changes, and developments. For answering the question, what are the current educational practices that shape the students' freedom to learn by looking at the journey of the nation education before and after independence? We have to know about the history of Indonesia education before independence. Before independence, the system of education in Indonesia was under the colonialism system. So all aspects and the rules was controlled by the colonialism. There are three aspects here that related to the roles of the government at the colonialism. The first one is limited access. In this colonial era, access is so limited. It's primarily accessible to the Dutch and the small elite group of Indonesia. Are given access to the formal education. Jadi hanya elit tertentu dalam pendidikan Indonesia yang dapat akses to formal education. And more than it, the colonial era focused on colonial needs. The education system was designed to serve the administrative and economic interests of the colonial groups. So many people are given the educations by interest of the colonial needs. Jadi banyak pekerja yang diberikan akses untuk belajar karena ketentuan atau kebutuhan dari pemerintahan tersebut. And the next about system education in the colonial. The education system was highly stratified with a clear divide between the education available to the colonizer and for the local populations. The systems make a large educational gap between the local population with the colonizer. Jadi ada gap besar di situ di mana pendidikan dikhususkan hanya untuk orang-orang tertentu dan the common people of Indonesia has a little access to education. And how about the after independence? As time goes by, the nationalism of education in Indonesia was developed. After that, the government try to give the better quality and the better future of Indonesian educational of Indonesia. So there are some aspects that are involved to grow the Indonesia educational systems, such as educational reform. In this era, the government aimed to extend educational access to all citizens. So in this era, pemerintah mencoba untuk menyediakan semua akses untuk seluruh penduduk Indonesia. Tidak sama dengan tadi sebelum independence, di mana akses yang terbatas. Tapi di era ini pemerintah mencoba untuk memperbaiki itu, di mana semuanya bisa mengakses pendidikan dengan baik. And then the second aspect is curriculum and policy changes. There have been numerous curriculum reforms aimed at improving educational quality and relevance, including updates to the teaching method and materials. Salah satunya juga adalah dengan menerapkannya berbagai kurikulum yang ada di Indonesia. Seperti yang kita tahu, kita sudah banyak menerapkan kurikulumnya dari awal kemerdekaan hingga saat ini. Itu adalah salah satu aspek yang digunakan pemerintah untuk meningkatkan kualitas edukasi di Indonesia. Dan fokusnya adalah kepada focus on quality, focus on improving the quality of education, teaching, and training. Lalu apa sih yang membelenggu pendidikan kita saat ini? Based on the previous materials, we can conclude that educational Indonesia was orientation toward academic grades and formal exams, and that learning process is still contaminated with old patterns that still considers students as the object, and the last lack of contextual and cultural education. Jadi hal inilah yang membelenggu pendidikan Indonesia saat ini, di mana saat ini sistem masih fokus kepada guru yang menjadi fokus dalam pembelajaran, guru yang memberikan role, teacher center. Padahal sekarang harusnya muridlah yang diberikan kebebasan untuk bisa berekspresi, untuk mengeluarkan potensinya masing-masing. Dan seperti yang tadi sudah bahas ya, salah satunya adalah dengan penerapan kurikulum yang dari awal kemerdekaan hingga saat ini terus diperkembangkan dari kurikulum setelah kemerdekaan pada tahun 1947 hingga kurikulum saat ini, yaitu kurikulum merdeka yang digunakan pemerintah sebagai rules to improving the educational quality of Indonesia.
Okay, and now let's continue to the second question. Are there any current educational models that you believe can break the shackles that have yet to free students? Okay, as we heard before from Ms. Rahmi, that Curriculum Merdeka is one of the solutions of educational in Indonesia. Why? Because this curriculum is very different from the journey of curriculum before, which is the curriculum is more focused on the development of the full potential of the students. The second is the system prioritize character development and independent learning, which is student current learning. In this curriculum, of course, we knew that the teachers not the same as the curriculum before. That is always a teacher center. But here now in this era, we change the curriculum to how the students can the student center learning, which is we can know how to develop the character of the students and also how the potential are, and etc. And the third, the modern education in Indonesia tries to integrate national curriculum and local values into the curriculum. Nowadays, a lot of people in Indonesia loves another culture country like Korea, Japan, animes, or K-pop, and etc. And here, Curriculum Merdeka wants give the solution for the students in Indonesia to know their culture and also to know the value of our country, which is Indonesia. Okay, and these are the three educational models. The first, problem-based learning. The second, project-based learning, or we call also PGPL. These two is very familiar and very famous, which is of course a lot of studies about these models. And the third is environmental learning. Okay, let's take a look of the first model, which is problem-based learning. This problem-based learning is a student-centered approach, which is the students can collaborate their work in the group. Also, they can solve the problem of their life. Maybe the example of the implementation in the class, maybe in an English class, it can be how the problem maybe when the tourists want to explore in Indonesia, but no one communicate in English. This is one of the problem. So the students can solve this problem by facilitating by the teacher. Which is the first, the student can brainstorming what the tourist needs in Indonesia, or we can give their resource like what place are Indonesia goods to go with the tourists maybe, or etc. So the second, project-based learning. These models are is very interesting too. The learners engage the real world project. For the first is a problem, and now the project called a real world. So the second, focus on applying knowledge to create solution. The third, encourage collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. Okay, so the example for this project-based learning, maybe it can be we can deliver the students with mini documentary for introduce our culture to the tourists. In this example, the students can make a project like to produce a mini video or video production with their group to make a traditional foods that famous in this Indonesia. So the last is environmental learning, which is focusing on understanding the natural world. So the second, encourage awareness of environmental issue, and last, promote sustainable practices and eco-friendly behavior. In this approach, we can use our environment to teach English learning. Like if we go to the outside of the classroom, maybe the students can explore what are the new vocabulary in that place. So maybe it can be also the issue of the environment, like food waste or plastic waste, and make a poster in the group and etc. Okay, maybe it is my presentation. Will be continued by them.
Now, the last question. What do you offer as an educational model that can be recycled and relate students? So from the learning method that has been explained by Shiva, we choose and offer the project-based learning, because the project-based learning is the method where students engage real world, then require them to apply the various skill and knowledge to create product. And this approach emphasizes active learning, critical thinking, and collaboration. Again, project-based learning is the teaching method where students learn actively, engaging in real world and meaningful projects. For the conclusion, the education system of the past, both before and after independence focus on the one-way learning, which tended rigid and static. So the modern education models offer the more dynamic and focus on student-centered. With the project-based learning, places student at the center learning. This approach emphasizes active learning, critical thinking, and collaboration. And the project-based learning itself contributes to freeing students from the passive and one-way learning method, encourage active involvement and responsibility of the students in learning process, develop skills are relevant to the needs of the times and the world of work. Jadi kita menawarkan project-based learning karena di kurikulum Merdeka ini siswa menjadi student-centered, di mana pada project-based learning ini sangat cocok dan berfokus pada siswa itu sendiri, yang mana siswa menjadi aktif learning, critical thinking, dan bisa berkolaborasi dengan guru. I think that's all.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Give me a pen, everyone. So the first line, okay, let's give you from the first line. So, what are the conditions that shackle William? Yeah, what are the current educational practice that shackle students freedom to learn? Nah, itu it is good for you that you explain the category of the journey of national education before and after independence. Coba the before one is you try to explain that there are so many rules given by the colonialism. There are so many limitedness that we have for accessing the education. Yeah, that's for before independence. And the second one is after independence. What issues did you try to address here? Okay, the issues that you try adalah educational reforms. Okay, the government aimed to extend educational access to all citizens. There have been numerous curriculum reforms aimed at improving educational quality and relevance, including updates to teaching methods and materials. Recent reform have also focused on improving the quality of education and teacher training. Yeah, seeing from the first slide to the second slide, you just address the issue dealing with the difference between the educational system before and after, but you haven't addressed the issue dealing, even we have already independent. Yeah, we have been now in the position that we have independent country. All countries in the world admitted, that we have been independent. However, the question is about what issues. Apa sih sebetulnya masih membelenggu? Nah, itu yang belum diaddress sama Anda. Ya, ini kan baru hanya melihat bahwa perbedaan dari sebelum dan sesudah. Sesudah memang pendidikan kita getting better, tapi apa yang menjadi isu yang masih shackle, yang masih membelenggu di pendidikan kita, walaupun comparing with the previous era before independence, our education system, our condition for accessing education is getting better and better. Tapi kan masih ada poin yang membelenggu nih. Point of view Anda apa gitu loh. Kalau kemarin teman-teman yang lain ada yang addressing issues tentang why should the government why should school, all schools in Indonesia be accredited, gitu kan ya kemarin ya. Padahal itu tuh cuma formality, gitu kan ya. Itu yang formality, belum tentu yang akreditasinya bagus. Justru proses pendidikannya juga bagus, gitu kan ya. We can buy the certificate by ourselves loh dia kan ya, gitu ya. Terkecuali kalau kita bicaranya akreditasi internasional baru beda cerita. Nah jadi maksudnya apa isu yang di-address? Belum ada, kan ya. Jadi baru sekedar menjelaskan perbedaan antara before and after. Nanti bisa ditambahkan, gitu ya. Alright, okay, you may end up your presentation.
Thank you so much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The next please. Last but not least.